What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. And it is the Challenge Festival 1. As you can see, we've got these weird looking guys in here called the Tweedles. We've got Tweedledum and Tweedledee. I'm not sure which one's which, but we're going to have a look at these guys today. We have to have a look at them and see what they're all about because they look absolutely hideous. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So we've got the portal here. We've got them featured. We've got this amazing hero Guardian Hippo featured as well. And we've also got a new costume for the Queen of Hearts. And we've got a new costume for the Cheshire Cat. So we've got quite a bit to go through today. So first and foremost, let us take a look at these cutesy little guys called the Tweedles. So we have a dark hero. The first dark hero for the Wonderland family since the dragon, jeepers, I can't even remember the name now. Man, I'm gonna have to look it up. So the first dark hero since, where is he now? Don't even know if he's gonna be in here. This one, Jabberwock. There we go. So let us have a look at these guys today. Sorry, they're just really funny looking. So they are of the monk class, which means they get a chance to resist negative status effects. Okay, that's all right. They're also of the Wonderland family. So the family bonus for these heroes is actually a really good one because for 2, 3, or 4, 5 heroes, you get plus 2%, 4%, 7%, or 12% mana generation. So that can definitely work well in conjunction with each other. And also you get a 5%, 10%, 15 or 20% critical chance. So they can be extremely effective when paired with other heroes from what do they call it? The Wonderland family. Yeah, that's the one. Now, in terms of the stats, let's just have a little look here. 962 attack. That's huge. 947 on the defense and 1565 on the health. So maybe a little bit squishy, but then they are little guys. I'm not sure what's going on with the lipstick. But yeah, so that's a huge attack stat first and foremost. That definitely catches my eye. 945 team power is really high. I mean, if you look at them in comparison to Guardian Hippo, who's an incredible hero who's featured, she's at 841 on the team power. So there definitely has been an increase. Also, the other heroes with costumes have received a costume bonus. So they've got quite a big costume bonus, keeping them relevant with the meta. I'm not mad that they're doing that. But then power creep is definitely running. It's pretty quick at the moment. So that is kind of concerning. So let's go on to what they're doing on their special skills. So they are running at slow speed, the Tweedles, and at slow speed they're going to be deals 600% damage to a random enemy. The target gets minus 50% defense for 5 turns, and then they deal 600% damage to another random enemy, and the target gets minus 50% attack for 5 turns. The caster gets 30% mana if both attacks hit the same target. Okay, so let's break it down. I mean, 600% damage is a whopping hit. It is running at slow speed, and technically you could call this a slow speed sniper, but it's just going to hit 2 enemies or 1 enemy twice. So, I mean, 600% could probably kill a hero. A single hero. The only problem here is that you have got other heroes that are running at slow speed that can pretty much decimate or wipe out a whole team. Gosek from the Gargoyles is one that springs to mind. I mean, if he's at low health, and this is also conditional, but he can pretty much wipe a whole team. I mean, even somebody like Khufu can pretty much wipe a whole team, 450 to the whole team, plus they get the additional sand damage as well that triggers quite often. So I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I mean, I don't think it's going to be extremely effective, but probably could kill two heroes on the team, or just about kill two heroes on the enemy team. The only sort of downside as well is that both hits are to a random enemy, so you can't target the enemy either. So I think for me, this hero is probably going to be a bit of a dud, if I'm totally honest. I think it would be usable in the rush format, where it doesn't really matter who you're targeting because the defense's AI would target just randomly anyway. But again, I'd probably rather have Lucinda, and she's not that great of a hero. So yeah, not a huge fan of the Tweedles, except I am a huge fan of the art. I think they are extremely cute looking and very funny. But yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not too much to say about them really. The 30% mana, if both attacks hit the same target, that's pretty cool. But again, it's only going to happen every now and then, and you can't really control what's going to happen with this special. So kind of a meh hero. I think Guardian Hippo's probably the draw card from this portal, I would say. Now let's move on to the Queen of Hearts, carrying her strawberry stick. I do like the art on this one a little bit better, even though she looks kind of creepy. I guess she is supposed to be creepy. But yeah, she's now of the cleric class, which is interesting. Before she was a paladin, that kind of worked pretty well with the taunt, because she gives taunt and she gets the chance to increase her defense. Paladin's also a pretty good defensive class, because I'd probably rather have the cleric class, because of the mana shield, so she gets the chance to resist negative mana effects and effects that prevent special skills. So I think I'd rather have this class. Again, she's going to benefit from the Wonderland family bonus. We won't go over that again, but it is really good. And then the costume bonus for these heroes, as I said, so we're looking at an attack bonus of 17%, defense of 17%, health of 30%, and then that mana bonus stays at 5%. But it does mean it brings her base team power up to 905. And you can see in those stats, I mean, she is extremely defensively built, very similar to the original, but that health stat of over 2,000 and defense of just over 900 means she's going to be extremely survivable. So let's look at her old special first. So she dealt 240% damage to the target and nearby. So an even hit 3 at average speed. Then she summons the playing card minion with 16 HP and 30 attack. And when summoned, the minion gives taunt for its gives taunt for its owner for as long as the owner has the playing card minions. And the effect can't be dispelled because it's attached to the minion. And the caster got plus 74% defense against special skills for 4 turns. So, I mean, looking at this with the more balanced stats, she's now a much more relevant hero if you do manage to pull her costume. The minions are a bit more easy to deal with, so it does make the taunt it negates the taunt a little bit, because the minions are easier to destroy, and you don't really have to have a dispel handy. You can just kill the minion. So I think that's where she fell down originally. Now, the new costume will deal 200% damage to the target and nearby. So there's a reduction in the damage, and there's also a big reduction in the attack stat as well. So she's not doing too well so far, unfortunately. But she now summons this playing card minion with 25% HP and 40% attack inherited from the caster. Okay, that does make a difference because it's definitely a beefier minion, which makes it harder to kill if you don't have a minion destroyer. But if you do have a minion destroyer, if you have Grimble or somebody similar, geez, I'm really bad with names today anyway. If you have any minion destroyer, you can take care of that, no problem. So this playing card minion still gives taunt for the owner as long as the owner has the minion. And the caster gets exactly the same, plus 74% defense against special skills for 4 turns. It's, again, a bit disappointing because there's nothing original about this card. It's just giving a slightly higher HP and attack to the minion, but it's essentially doing exactly the same thing as the original one, so I'm really disappointed. Although I do like the art. I think the art is better. I mean, this would not be a hero that you would want to sort of chase or summon for, because it's almost exactly the same, and not as good as any of the other taunt heroes because she can be too easily dealt with. So yeah, not the greatest, I'm afraid. Now let's go out and back in just so we can have a little look at Cheshire Cat. So Cheshire Cat has been an extremely useful hero for me. The defense down against Titans, the defense down of 44%, is pretty high, and it's for 4 turns, but then it is kind of a niche hero, so you would only really use Cheshire Cat for that. Now, the costume bonus for the 4 stars is lower. It's an attack of 5%, defense 5%, health of 10%, and mana bonus of 5%. So they have increased the mana bonus, which definitely does make a difference. But unfortunately, they haven't brought the stats up to be relevant in line with the new 4-star heroes that are being released. So that's a bit of a downer. The class change, on the other hand, is a good positive thing. So we have the rogue class now for Cheshire Cat, and it means that she gets the chance to dodge, which is always useful and annoying. So she is now running at fast speed, which is a good sort of factor about this hero, is that she does run at fast speed. And at fast speed, the old special was she rearranges the enemy positions randomly. That honestly doesn't make too much of a difference unless you're really particular about your teams. And all holy enemies get minus 44 defense for 4 turns. All enemies also receive 388 poison damage over 4 turns, and the effect can't be cleansed. So, I mean, the poison damage is really negligible. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. The main reason you would want this hero was for that big defense down against holy. Now, this is the problem. So, yeah, as you can see, she still rearranges the enemy positions randomly. All holy enemies get minus 34% defense for 4 turns. Why they had to change it, I have no idea. Because the only thing that's gone up is the damage over time. So all enemies receive 516 bleed damage over 4 turns. And as you can see, the effect can be cleansed in the new costume. So a worse costume than the original by 1,000,000%. The only reason you would level this would be to get that stat bonus. And I would do it. I think it is worth doing if you don't have another high defense down in the dark element that works against holy titans. But nothing about this hero is better than the original except for the class, and just giving you that stat bonus. So really disappointing portal, honestly. Like, there are some good heroes in here, but you do have a much lower chance of getting the good heroes. I think heroes like Costume Finley, for example, and Jabberwock's costume's pretty decent. Green Knight, this little guy is an absolute destroyer in certain formats. So you've got a much lower chance of grabbing, some of these heroes that are more desirable. But Guardian Hippo definitely is there to kind of draw you in. And I'm super happy to say this. I just really, really want to end off by showing you guys I got Guardian Hippo. I also managed to snag Khufu, who's a hero that I've been wanting for ages. But like on a random, literally 3 pulls, I managed to grab Guardian Hippo. So Guardian Hippo is coming right up. And I'm super excited to get going with her because she's been a hero I've wanted for ages. So if you are going to try your hand in this portal, I'd say don't go crazy unless you're, hunting Guardian Hippo and you've got lots of money in the bank. In that case, go as wild as you want to. But for the other heroes that you've got in this portal, I'm not so sure. And I would probably wait for a better portal, to be honest. So if you are going to go for it, I wish you guys all the best of luck. And good luck in the challenge event as well. If you're going for top scores, I wish you all the best in that. So that's it for today, guys. Please do drop us a like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of these new heroes, especially these two cutesy Tweedles. And I will see you guys all again in the next video. Bye for now.